All right, Mavs. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing awesome today. We are on 6.5 today, and a lot of it is really just adding, using everything that we know about place value and adding and subtracting numbers. So we're going to have a few word problems that we can work on together, and then I'm going to go ahead and get you started. So just to warm up our brains a little bit from yesterday, let's think right now, and I want you to mentally add or subtract, right? I have some subtraction signs in red there on the right, and I want you to mentally add and subtract these numbers. Okay, so we have 127 plus 100. So we know we're going to change only the 100 place in that 127. So what is that going to give you? Yeah, 227. Go ahead and do this one on your own. Okay, and then move down to 382. And remember, you're just adding 100 to 382. So think about counting even by hundreds. 182, 282, 382, 482. Okay, so it's going to work just like that. Okay, next I want you to practice the mentally subtracting 100 from these numbers. You're going to do the first one is 291. And then you're going to subtract 100 from 304. And then 100 from 199. All right, maths. So you should have gotten over here 191, 204, and 99. So now when we took away the whole 100, you don't even have 100 left. All right, so let's get started. So guys, today our learning target is using, just like I had mentioned above, addition exercises to show place value and apply knowledge of that place value to word problems. Okay, so all of that work that we've been doing on understanding place value, now is that application time with some real life kind of word problems to help you think about those situations where you would apply this knowledge. So I'm going to get started with a short clip. And this one is on adding hundreds, tens, and ones. So I know sometimes it can be fun to have someone else's perspective and point of view. And I think he does a nice job.
63. And that is the same as, I have a 1 in the hundreds place, so that's 100, 100, plus 6 tens, plus 6 tens, plus 3 ones, 3 in the ones place, plus 3 ones. Do that in the color blue, which I have for the ones place. And I've drawn that out here where I actually draw 163 squares. And you see it as 100, 6 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens, and 3 ones. So this number right over here, 163, it's the same thing as 100 plus 6 tens plus 3 ones. And if you want to think about what it looks like, this is 163 things. You see the 100, you see the 6 tens, and you see the 3 ones. Now, I now want to add the number 324 to 163. So 324 is, if we look at the hundreds place, it's 3 hundreds, 3 hundreds, it's 2 tens, 3 hundreds plus 2 tens, and 4 ones. So plus 4 ones. And we see that right over here drawn out, or I guess I do all the boxes. So 324 boxes, this is 324 boxes. You have 3 hundreds, 1, 2, 3 hundreds, 2 tens, 1, 2 tens, and 4 ones. And so this number, 324, is 3 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones. And if you want to think about how many boxes it is, it's that many, and you see them. They are grouped into 3 groups of 100, that's the 300s, 2 groups of 10, that's the 2 tens, and then 4 ones. So now let's add them together. So let's first look at the ones place. So the ones place, you're going to have 3 ones plus 4 ones. Well, that's going to be, let me do this in blue. That's going to be 7 ones. 3 ones plus 4 ones, that is 7 ones. A 7 in the ones place is 7 ones. And we see that right over here. 3 ones plus 4 ones, that's 7 ones. Now, if I have 6 tens and 2 tens, well, if I add them together, I'm going to have 8 tens. 8 tens. If I have 6 tens and 2 tens, the 6 and this 2, they're in the tens place. So this shows this represents 6 tens, this represents 2 tens. 6 tens plus 2 tens is 8 tens. And we also see it here. 6 tens plus 2 tens is 8 tens. 8 tens. And then finally, we have 100 plus another 3 hundreds. So that's going to be 4 hundreds. 4 hundreds. And you see them right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hundreds. You circle all of these. 4 hundreds. 100 plus 300 is 400. So 163 plus 324 is 487. 4 hundreds, 8 tens, and 7 ones.
All right. So that is a great segue into what we are working on today. So first, we're going to be adding hundreds, tens, and ones using those proof drawings. And we're not going to use secret code card, but we can use expanded form and vertical addition. And then we're going to look at some word problems. And I'm going to get out that word problem solving card, maybe. Who knows actually where that might be. So maybe I might just go off my memory and yours. Okay, so we're going to look at our word problems together and then sort through that information. And then maybe we might just do one or two as far as setting them up. Okay, all right, team. So first things first. Okay, how can you make a drawing showing boxes, sticks, and circles to add? So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to look at 200 plus 200. So what are you going to do to add 200 plus 200? Okay. All right, so if you look right here, next, and then we'll do 200 plus 20, 200 plus 2, and then 3 plus 700, and 10 plus 90. So those are kind of our warm-up activities as far as looking at how we're going to do our place value exercises today. Let me make sure I write down 300, 10 plus 900. All right, here we go. So first things first, how can we make a drawing? How can we use expanded form? How can we use what we know to solve this problem? So the first thing, right, is if you are adding, you want to do 200, that's your equation, right? 200 plus 200. Okay, what are you going to do to solve this problem? Well, there's several things that you can do, several strategies that you can use in order to solve this. So the first thing is, of course, we can make drawings. Okay, so we can add 100, 200, and then add plus 100, 200. So we can see quite quickly, right, that 200 plus 200 equals 400. Okay, additionally, you can look at adding it in that vertical form. Okay, you can look at 200 on top of 200. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that you can approach these depending on what you're most comfortable with. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want us to look at, we have this 200, but I also want us to look now at 200 plus 20. Now notice that's going to change things, although there are going to be some similarities in these numbers. Okay, of course we don't have another 100 to be adding it here, so I want you to look at, we're going to look at both a vertical form process as well as a drawing to help represent and support this. So if you look at this, you have 200 plus 20. If we wanted to make a drawing, then we would add 200, right, plus 20, 10, 20. And we know from previous lessons that that equals 220. Additionally, you can use vertical form to solve this problem. So if you wanted to put the 200, the most important thing, right, and the subsequent lessons, the next lessons are going to get into adding vertical, using vertical form for addition, expanded form for addition, okay? When you are adding numbers, sometimes grid paper, I know at school we'll use grid paper because it can help you to keep your numbers, but we've talked so much about place value, so it really matters. I can't do this to add this number, okay? Why can't I do that? Why would that mess me up, okay? Yeah, because right now it looks like I'm adding another 200. Okay, so place value matters when you're doing vertical addition, okay? And the numbers, so you're going to have 200 plus 20. I want to make sure that my 10s are aligned, my 1s are aligned, and 100s are aligned if I have them. Okay, so same steps that we've taken in the past for addition. We have a 0 and a 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2, and 2 plus 0 is 2. Okay, so you have the same thing, but there's just two different ways to solve that problem. Okay, let's go ahead and do another one. Okay, we had said the next problem was going to be 200 plus 2. Okay, again, a great way you might be able to just look at this and know in your head, well, I know what that answer is. Maybe you want to make a drawing to help support your thinking. Okay, so you might say 200. You can make a drawing to support or represent that number 200. Okay, we don't have any 10 sticks, but we do have one. So we have 202. Okay, so to draw that, that would look like 200. We have no 10s in the tens place, but we know it is represented because it's 200 is a 3-digit number. So 202. Okay, again, if I want to go over here and I want to show this in vertical form, the most important thing is that everything stays in alignment with the place value. Sometimes you might want to, drawing a line helps you, then that's awesome, okay? But you just want to make sure that that 2, okay? And I know that right now the numbers are not that complex. However, as they get to be more complex and you're adding different numbers, you really just want to make sure that those digits are aligned. So here, 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 0 is 0. And 2 plus 0 is 2. Okay, so same number, different strategy. Okay. All right, so the next one I wanted, I gave you that one because it's a little bit backwards, right? It kind of reminds me of those numbers when we were doing the place value, that scrambled place value where you had to look at the hundreds, tens, and ones separately and kind of plug them in. So this next equation is going to be 3 plus 700. Okay, again, it's totally up to you how you want to solve it. You may look at it and you might say, oh wait, I know how to do this. I can just represent it. Okay, and that is completely fine. If you want to make a drawing, then how many boxes are you going to have to do? 7, right? So you're going to look at those boxes and you're going to have 7 boxes. Okay, we have no 10 sticks to draw and we have 3 ones. Okay, so you can say that 700, I can even put a plus sign if I want, right? But 700 plus 3 equals 703. Okay, same thing. If I want to vertically align these numbers, I would have 700. I want to make sure that my numbers stay aligned. This, more than anything, it's just great practice with thinking about the alignment and the importance of place value when you're doing addition and subtraction with 3-digit numbers. Okay, and the last one that we'll do, I know it was 10 plus 900. Let's see here. 10 plus 900. So already I can see I don't have a ones place in this one because there's no single digit number to represent a number in the ones place. So it's going to look just like this. I'm going to look at my, how many 100 blocks do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I have 1 10 stick. Okay, then I just use that. So I have 910. Okay, to show that in vertical form, 900. I ensure that my 10 is in that perfect place value space, and then I can do my vertical addition. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 9 plus nothing is 9, 10. Okay, so that same match, different numbers. Okay, so like again, not super complex numbers. However, the idea for this is more along the lines of practicing and making sure that you know how to add vertically and represent numbers for addition. Okay, so the next piece we have just some word problems that we're going to go over here today. Okay, so this one says it wants you to make a drawing. So you can make a drawing with 10 sticks and ones. You can make a drawing showing that vertical form however you want, but I would like to see a drawing just so you can practice this alignment, okay? So your word problem says that Maya's clothing store has some necklaces. They buy 3 boxes that have 100 necklaces each. They also already had 58 necklaces out on display. How many necklaces does Maya's store have? Okay, so what it's letting you know is that it basically tells you how many she has, right? She has 58 necklaces at her store on display already. Okay, and then she just bought 3 boxes that each have 100 necklaces. Okay, so how are we going to represent this equation? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to say that we already know, right, that Maya's store, and Maya, I had no idea you had so many necklaces. Okay, so Maya has 58 necklaces already at her store. Okay, and the word problem just said they just bought 3 boxes each with 100. So I can represent that again with my 100 blocks. 200, 300. Okay, we know that 100, 200, 300. So to Maya's store, she just added 300 necklaces. Awesome. So how many necklaces does Maya now have at her store? Again, you might be able to look at this, okay, and say, or you might want to look at your drawing. So we already have these 300 that are represented by the 300 new boxes she just purchased. Now I'm going to look at my 50 and my 8. How do I draw and represent 58? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I can add up those numbers together, 358, to come up with the number of necklaces that Maya has at her store. Okay, if you were wanting to work on this vertically, that's kind of that next step. Okay, the drawings are great if they are a great tool for you. Our goal is to, as we start to feel more and more confident with the drawings and that understanding, we want to try to do as much vertically as we can as you grow as a mathematician. Okay, so this one would be 300. And here you're just adding that 58. Notice my ones, my tens are all aligned. Okay, super important. Okay, so I'm going to look at 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 5 is 5. And 3 plus nothing is 3. Okay, awesome. So it's not too tricky. We're starting out. Again, the whole idea is that you want to make sure that you have the ideas represented here, okay? So right here we have Quinn and William wanted to get water balloons for all of the students in our school. Very cool, you guys. First, they went to Target and they bought 5 boxes. Holy smokes! Each with 100 balloons. Well, this will be perfect because our school has 700 kids, so I think almost everyone will get one. So thanks, guys, for doing that. Okay. Then they went to Tyson's house. Oh, cool, Tyson, and asked for 386 more. How many balloons do they have for our school? Okay, so stop right now and I want you just to think out loud. What are you going to do to solve this problem? Okay, I want you to even use your whatever it is that you're writing on, and I want you to write down how are you going to solve this problem? What was that going to look like for you? Okay. Now, I said earlier, make some drawings. Okay, so you have 3. Tyson has balloons, and they got 5 boxes each with 100 balloons. Okay, so let's write down and draw what we know. Okay, we know that Quinn and William went to Target. 1 box, 2, 3, 4, 5. They bought 5 boxes of balloons. Okay, so we know right here that's 500. Awesome. Okay, and then it also says that Tyson was chilling at his house with 386 balloons. So we get to add that to, the 500 that they just purchased. Okay, so Tyson's, I'm going to represent a different color just so we can see what we're adding here. 100, 200, 300. Okay, and we're going to add 86, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Super. All right, so now we just get to count up with our boxes. So we know this is a group of 5 plus 3. So I'm going to make an 8 to represent my hundreds. Okay, and then I'm going to count up my 10 sticks. No other 10 sticks anywhere, so I just get to write 8. And then over here, I don't see any other ones anywhere, so I just get to add those 6 that I had drawn. And my total is 886. If you were saying, you know what, I wasn't going to do drawings for this anymore, Miss Hampton, I'm really wanting to try more of that vertical form, then your vertical form answer would look like this. You would have your 500, and you're adding 386, okay? And you're just doing this vertically. 0 plus 6, 6. 0 plus 8, 8. 5 plus 3, 3. All right, maths. So hopefully this is starting to feel a lot more comfortable to you. I have 2 more word problems here. Let me see. Let's see. Let's do one more together. Okay, I'm going to pull this up right here though, because you guys can pause. So this is Noah and his friends want to play games at recess. So they make 2 teams, each with 200 players, and 4 teams with 10 players for another game. How many friends are playing games? Okay, so I'm going to let you do this one on your own. So I want you to go ahead and pause this problem. Pause me, and I want you to solve this problem. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to do this drawing, and I want you to check. It's not going to be as elaborate as the other ones, okay? But if you chose to make a drawing, right, this is one of those times so they had 2 teams when that would be helpful, each with 200. And then they had 4 teams with 10 players, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, very quickly and easily, you can see that they have 440 friends playing games. Okay, and then finally, here is your last problem. I want you to choose a strategy. Choose the way that you're going to solve it. If you want to make a drawing with the 10 sticks and ones, please do. If you want to try the vertical form, please go ahead and do that as well. Okay. So this one says, Simha and Thomas are part of a group of 370 people on a train. 130 people got off at the first stop. 20 people got on at the second stop. How many people are on the train now? Okay, so this one is kind of fun. I wanted to do this one together. So you have 300 people, 370. So this is going to be one of those where a drawing could be helpful, or you can be trying that vertical form. So if you have 370, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 on the train. Okay, we're going to subtract 130 of those people, and we'll talk about how we can do that. Okay, and then we're going to add 20. Okay, all right, team, here we go. So right here, okay, I've just done a drawing to represent that. So they're on the train. Simha and Thomas are on the train. There's 370 people on the train. We know that 130 of those people are going to get off. So what I can do right now is I can cross off the 100, and I can cross off 3 of those 10s. Okay. However, 20 other people got on. This looks like an N. Should be that. Okay. 20 get on. So now I'm going to go over here and add 10, 20 more. So how many am I going to be left with? Well, let's take a look. We should have 100, 200, 210, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So this one you would have 260 people on the train. Okay. If you wanted to do that in vertical form, it would have looked something like this. 370 minus 130. Okay, just like how we started. 0 minus 0 is 0. 7 take away 3 is 4. 3 take away 1 is 2. Okay, that's how many people would have gotten on. But then you would want to add 20 more. 0 plus 0 is 0. 4 plus 2 is 6. 2 plus 0 is 2. So Mavericks, I think you should be ready to rock and roll. Good luck. Have fun with this. Again, you are on page, if you're doing the homework and remembering, you're working on page 165 today. It has 2 problems, okay, where you get to practice these. Please come back and revisit this if you want to see the drawings and numbers represented again. Otherwise, if you are working in your homework and remembering, again, however you want to add. If you want to be making and representing drawings, please do. Page 267. And on the back is practice with the word problems. So if this feels awesome and easy for you, fantastic. Go ahead and head to Google Classroom for some additional extensions. Otherwise, persevere, guys. Work hard and happy learning. Talk to you soon.